Hi, this is Russ Allman, Communications Director with the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, soon to be the Foothills Community Center. Starting to throw that in there now because we're getting close.
Yeah.
And I'm here today with Carol Prag. Carol is the coordinator for our coloring group that we have here at the Senior Center. And it's a group that I think sometimes gets overlooked a bit. And I want to make sure that they get some exposure. So it's I've definitely been on my list to do an interview with Carol and find out more about the coloring group, and let people know what they're doing. It's also one of the most diverse groups that we have here too, and I think Carol will probably want to talk about that a bit too. So, Carol, thank you for doing this today. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about your background first. Are you from the area?
I'm from Leavenworth
Okay.
and been down here since '84. And I've had a few businesses that were successful. And now I'm retired and I like to color.
That's good. So when have you been a coloring person all your life?
No, I was an oil painter, an acrylic painter, scenery, just about everything. A lot of theater sets in the valley. Done quite a bunch of those with the art club, Columbia River Brush Benders.
Okay.
And I just stayed in art. It's relaxing.
So before you were retired, what did you do?
I was a driver's ed teacher for many years. I had my own company. And then I did job search and training for people with disabilities.
Okay.
And other than that, it was growing up in Leavenworth. You either worked in a restaurant or you raked somebody's leaves. So
Right.
that's
Right.
how it went.
So yeah, I was just curious if you had any, if you did anything related to art in your work, or if that was more of a side.
That was a side thing.
Right.
Yeah, totally side.
And so now that you're retired, you're full time into the art.
Pretty much
Yeah.
that and puzzles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puzzles are good for the brain too.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Yeah. When did you start the coloring group?
I did.
And when did you do that?
Oh, let me see. I think it was a year ago, October.
Okay, so not too long now.
No.
When you started it, did you start it here at the Senior Center?
I did. Yeah.
And who is the audience that you were looking for to be members of the?
We were looking for any level of coloring they wanted to be. And that's what we ended up with, any level. There's great artists, and then there's some that have minimal skills. So, but we've turned out to be quite a large group.
And, I think maybe one misnomer that people have about coloring is maybe they picture, well, coloring is for kids. And it's, coloring books are, simple drawings that kids do. But, some of these coloring books that you have are quite elaborate.
Very elaborate.
Take great amount of time to do.
Detailed.
Here's an
Yes.
example of one of the books that they have. Maybe you could go through and maybe show a couple things
There's
here.
some, right there's one. And that's complete.
Okay. And
They're not totally all colored in. Some people do the backgrounds, others don't. And
Right.
It's all whatever you see in your brain that you color, and that's your coloring.
right.
We don't try to copy each other. We do our own thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And while the designs are already here,
Right.
obviously the colors aren't, so you can decide
That's right.
what kind of theme you want.
Mhm.
And if you wanted to, you can change a lot about a picture by what colored schemes you choose, I would imagine.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I have noticed that within your group that you have quite a few people with disabilities. disabilities.
Correct.
And so now that kind of makes sense, knowing that you have a background working with people with disabilities. That's probably part of how that got started as part of the group.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little about that?
Well, I just know that one of the gals brought in one of her clients and, can we see what you're doing? And yeah, I'll give you a piece of paper with a picture, my pencils, and you can try. And they stayed, and then it kept growing and growing and growing. And they're happy to be here on Tuesdays for 2 hours. It's something for them to do that they know how to do.
Sure. So how much of it do you think is the activity itself they enjoy, and how much of it is the social
I
part?
think it's almost a 50-50. You have some that color a lot, and then you have some that just might make a mark on a paper.
Mm-hmm.
But they're here for the social aspect as well.
Right.
And so am I.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So tell me when you're meeting.
On Tuesdays from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the lunchroom.
Right. We're actually doing it in the coffee area.
Coffee area.
The coffee bar area, we call it,
Mm-hmm.
which is the area immediately off of the kitchen. It's kind of off to the side a little bit. So it's a little bit buffered from the dance floor area and the general seating area. Not as much as we'd like, because it still gets noisy.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people in coloring group and a lot in the dance group.
Yeah, and it's this is again one of those. I've talked about this in some of our previous episodes of our podcast too. That this is another really good example of why we need to expand our building and be able to move the thrift shop out into its own space so that we can get more of our activity rooms back.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are a lot of times when we have 2 or 3 groups that want to meet at the same time, and a lot of them end up using the social hall at the same time, and that can be really difficult when you have something like coloring where people are trying to concentrate,
right?
And you have a dance class going on 100 feet away. And even though we have some dividers we can put up, it really doesn't.
I have to admit, their music is soothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on which one. I mean, the line dancing, I would think that maybe.
Now that would be a little quick.
But I think the Tai Chi is probably a little bit more conducive to focusing on coloring.
Yeah, we like it. It's relaxing, I think.
I'd like to see us have yoga classes here too. That would probably be a good class too.
Yeah.
Now, we have had the coloring group also meeting in, you were in Suite B, weren't you?
Correct.
So once we get past the holidays here and have a little more time, I don't know if they are planning to move you back into one of the suites, but
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But yeah, this is one of the issues that we run into a lot and it's not, it's not that we don't want these groups to be able to meet. It's just finding times that work where different groups can do their thing and still be compatible.
You have a lot of activities here, and the best thing people should be is flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And the coloring group has been moved from A to B to lunchroom, back to B, back to A. But, we always find each other, and we still have a good time.
This time of year during the holidays is particularly difficult, too, because the thrift shop is extra busy.
Right.
They also have the Christmas room that they set up. And when they're prepping to set up the Christmas room, they take all the things out of storage and use one of the 2 separate suites that we have as a staging area. So we lose one of our suites during about a 3-week period as well. Right. So thankfully we're past that now. So things are getting a little better. But this time of year is all crazy. So,
yes, yeah. So, but it's a great program for the community center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you don't have any costs involved. Do you?
None. One of the regulations is you have to be a member,
Right.
and which is fine with me. I mean, how else are you guys going to stay here if people don't help out?
Right.
And no cost at all. We get our own supplies or we share.
Yeah.
And I must have 50 coloring books that people have donated to us. And I share them with everybody.
And that's a good point to bring up too. If there are people watching this podcast that have coloring books for adults that they'd like to donate, the group could certainly use those, and also art supplies. It's all pencils, right?
Yeah, pencils have gotten up there quite a bit, and there's a lot of brands and kinds of lead you can use: soft lead, hard lead, very breakable lead. But there's a lot more to it than people think. Special erasers, and that you can blend your product and all kinds of stuff. So it can be pretty technical.
Yeah, and this is really very typical for most of the classes that we have at the senior center. Have no cost other than being a member of the senior center. There are a couple of like dance classes where they charge a very small fee, like $1 or $2 per session. But for the most part, everything we do is included in membership. And membership here at the senior center is $50 a year, and $75 for couples. So what you'd normally pay to go to a gym per month is probably more than it would cost you to be a member here for a year.
Correct.
To kind of put it in perspective.
Yeah, $50 a year. Even me on Social Security only, that's the only income I have, $50 I can deal with.
Right. And that's something that we really have tried very hard to do is to keep the membership really affordable so that adults of all ages, but especially seniors on fixed incomes, have the ability to be members.
Right.
And for those who are where it's too tight for them, we also have an Angel Fund program, which is like a scholarship grant program. So if somebody doesn't have isn't able to afford it, we have a process where they can apply and show proof of their income level, and potentially have their memberships paid for by the fund as well.
And that has been offered to some of our group, and I think one or two might have used it, but they were grateful because you have to be a member to be here.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that we do try to. There are a couple of exceptions to that. Our lunch program, and then also if we have special events, like when we do our New Year's Eve party. Actually, I don't think we're charging separate prices for that. But some of our special events will have a member price and a non-member price. But most of our activities are for members only, and that's to give people an incentive to join, and it's also to make sure that the members that we have can get into the classes. Because we wouldn't want to have it full of non-members, and that wouldn't be fair to members.
Right.
So is there anything else you'd like to add about the coloring group?
I just enjoy it here. I enjoy the people. All of your volunteers are so nice, very helpful. If I need anything, I can ask, and it's taken care of. So it's not like it's a stressful place to come. It's very welcoming.
And that's definitely, and I mentioned that in the article, the last article I wrote in the Livewire too, is our volunteers are people that give there are people that give to us in different ways, but I think we're probably most appreciative of our volunteers, because giving the gift of time and of yourself is something that we really, I mean, we wouldn't be here without
That's right.
without the huge core of volunteers that we have. They even built my office one.
Oh, nice.
This is my, my little, we're podcasting from here too. Soon you're going to see some soundproof panels behind us, and it'll look a little fancier. But we actually converted an old coat closet that wasn't being used into a little office, because we don't have a lot of office space in here, and that was done almost entirely by our volunteers.
That's wonderful. That's what community
Yeah.
helping is, just taking care of the people who can really use it.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for doing this with me today and telling us a bit more about the coloring program. And we do really appreciate your being here. And I know sometimes it can be a little frustrating with all the noise that's going on around here, but definitely, we definitely appreciate it in the group here, and we look forward to a time when we have plenty of individual rooms here once we get our expansion project done, and you'll have private space to continue to grow your group.
That'd be nice, yeah. And because it's growing, it seems like every week, yeah, more and more.
Yeah.
So we'd like to keep that up and
Okay.
get some fine artists in here, which we already have.
Right.
A bunch of real good artists.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Well, thanks again for doing this with me.
thank you, Russ, for inviting me.
Okay.
Okay. You have a great Thanksgiving.
Oh, you too.
Okay.